Hey, what's up everybody? This is OurMusicBox and today I want to go over one of the new legendary weapons for the Bloody Harvest event. Now this is going to be the Fearmonger, a legendary shotgun. Now where can you get this? I know of two spots that 100% can drop this. The first is Captain Haunt, which is the new boss in the event. The second are Golden Loot Skulls. Now what are Golden Loot Skulls? Any enemy in this event has a chance to become haunted, which means they're glowing of one of three colors. First is green, which killing any of these will spawn a skull that goes with whatever color the haunted enemy was. So first is green, which is a normal skull. Second is red, which is a badass skull. The third is golden, which is a little bit rarer, and that's a loot skull. The loot skull can drop any of the new legendaries of the event. And I'm not 100% certain, but I think badass skulls may be able to drop the legendary items as well. I'm just not certain on that, and if it can, it's a much lower chance than Captain Haunt or the loot skulls. So this weapon is a Hyperion shotgun that shoots out 4 bolts in front of you of whatever element it is. It can be any element. The weapon can roll as any element, and these 4 bolts are all sticky explosives. So once they hit, they will do some damage, not a ton of damage. All of those initial hits can also apply the status effect of the weapon, and then after a certain amount of time, all of those explosives will blow up to do the actual damage to the weapon, and then it can reapply the status effect to the target and anything around it again if it needs to. And this does have a 1.99 rate of fire, so it does shoot decently quickly, and it can also roll as any Hyperion prefix possible, so you could get it cash infused times 8, but specifically with the cash infused, which should double the pellets, it doesn't shoot out 8 bolts. So I'm not certain if it's doing the extra damage, if it's just blowing up and doing extra damage, or if it's not actually working. So that will require more testing. Now you can get these, like I said, on any element. They do roll some extra crit damage, which can go up to like 20%. They are Hyperion, so they do have a shield when you ADS. And overall, this is actually a very strong legendary. Now, first off, since it's a sticky explosive, you can crit swap with this. So if you don't know, you can switch to a weapon like an Unforgiving that has really high crit after you would shoot all these explosives in a crit spot, and once they blow up, they'll all crit and get the extra crit from whichever weapon you switch to, which, say if it's an Unforgiving, it could be over 400%. So it's really good for that. It has a pretty decent elemental damage per second. So like one of my rolls was around 2000 damage per second for corrosive, I'm pretty sure. They all have 48% chance for the status effect to apply. So pretty much hitting anything with the 4 hits is going to apply the status effect, which is very good. And then overall, it does really good damage. It's doing like high 700s. I think it may be able to get to like 800 for the times 4. And the only cash infused I have is around 650 times 8. So overall, it's really good damage just based on its base damage. It gets a splash damage radius increase. So when all the explosives blow up, they do have a pretty decent radius for doing damage around the target you hit. And overall, it's just a really high damage weapon. It's very easy to use. It's very accurate. Has really good elemental damage. You can get every element on them. You can get all the different Hyperion rolls. So you can try to get, the best rolls possible for Hyperion. You can actually look up, I'm pretty sure there are some like spreadsheets with every prefix now. So if you need to know prefix or anything like that, you can look that up. But overall, I would definitely recommend getting this weapon. It is a pretty strong weapon. I would say it's probably at the higher of the mid tier, or like the low of the very top tier legendary weapons. So it's overall a really good weapon. I'd recommend farming this up, getting those anointed rolls. You'll only be able to get this weapon for about a month and a half when the event is going. So I'd recommend getting a bunch of these. Get every element if you want every element. And that's pretty much the entire weapon. I'm going to have some footage of me using it, showing some crit swapping, all the type of stuff, using it on enemies. Also, it actually does work with the Moe's grenade build. So means of destruction, the ammo regen and grenade regen. The explosives on this will proc that, if you were wondering, because that Mo's build has kind of been gutted a bit with this patch. So it does work with that. It can make that build much more viable. So subscribe if you want to see more Borderlands 3 content. Leave a like if you liked the video. Leave a comment down below what you think about the Fearmonger Legendary Shotgun. What you think about the event. If you have any questions of where to get this weapon or anything else, leave it in the comments. I'll try to reply to everybody. And thanks for watching.
And I'm ready to watch you fuck up this slaughter! More death and destruction! Wow, 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 wow.